Hi everyone, welcome to Silicon Valley Gardener. How is everyone doing? Hope you are all safe and healthy. Please do take care of yourself and your loved ones. In today's episode of Silicon Valley Gardening, we'll see how to grow bottle gourds from seed. We'll also see the soil type that we can use and the fertilizers that we use to grow these bottle gourds, and the hand pollination technique. In case if you are not familiar, I'll show you how to do that, and also like the different kind of infection on this plant and how to treat them. And also we'll see few harvesting videos, as well as I'll show you 3 to 4 recipes that you can try with this vegetable. Why to delay further? Let's jump into the video. These are few seeds from last year, and here are few more. So I saved a couple of bottle gourds on my plant last year, and I tried to save those seeds for this year. And it's always recommended to make your own seeds and make fresh seeds every year, so that way you have 100% germination rate when you try to sprout these plants. So these are few seeds I had from last year which I'll be using this year. This is the seed starter soil that I'll be using. So in this I'll be using 30% of potting mix, 30% of coco coir, 20% of perlite and 20% of vermiculite. So you can mix all these together and you can sprout the seeds. You can use small seed starter pots where you can plant each seed in one pot and you can germinate the seeds. But in my case, I directly sprouted these seeds in the soil. I have few vegetable beds with soil, so I directly place them in the soil, and that's how I do every year, and I always have a success in germinating these seeds. But in case if you want to germinate them in your seed starter soil, this is the soil type that you can use. So as I mentioned earlier, this is how I started my plants, and since this is a climbing variety, you need to have a trellis or something that supports this plant, and this plant grows wild, so it's better to have a strong structure, because we had a very basic structure for a couple of years and it usually used to fall by the midsummer. So we came up with this trellis where it can hold this plant, because this plant grows wild and it has to hold very huge bottle gourds. So we live in zone 10. So during July the temperatures raised almost 100 degree, and then that's where these leaves started burning. So in that case we just have to remove those affected leaves, and that should be good. So after a month we would see 2 different types of flowers. The flower that has a bud is a female one, and the one that doesn't have a bud below is a male one. So you have to make sure that you have enough honeybees in the garden. If there are enough honeybees in the garden, they would pollinate using these honeybees. But in case if there are no honeybees in your garden, you have to hand pollinate them. So in that case you have to pluck off the male flower and rub it on the female flower. It's like hand pollinating them. And in case if you do not have enough male flowers, you can take a toothbrush and you can just like rub it on the male flower, and then you can keep rubbing the same brush on the female flower. So that way you can use one flower to pollinate different female buds. So after a couple of weeks This is the first bottle gourd that we are harvesting. This is how it looks. It was very tender, and it was easy to cook because it was very juicy. Now let's discuss the different organic fertilizers we use in our garden. One fertilizer that we use is this fish fertilizer. So the way we use this is we use 1 cup of this fish fertilizer and we dilute this with 2 gallons of water and we give it to the root of the plant. And the other fertilizer we use is Dr. Earth. So we mix the same way, like we mix 1 cup of this with 2 gallons of water and we give it to the plant. In case if you want to check out the other organic fertilizers we use in our garden, I'll provide the link in the description box as well as on the left side here. So we keep harvesting these bottle gourds from June till October. So we have like continuous bottle gourd harvest that we do every month, every week, in fact every other day. So these are the different harvest videos that I wanted to share, and this has been done in the course of 5 months. Now let's discuss the different infections we see on this plant. So one common infection that we see every year is this powdery mildew. When you have powdery mildew on the plant, you see this white layer on the leaf, and what happens is if you do not treat this infection, it would spread to other plants as well in your garden. So one thing you could do is you could just pluck off the leaves that has this white layer on top of it, and you can throw it in your trash bin. And otherwise what you could do is you could use like sour milk, and you can take it in a spray bottle and you can dilute that with water and you can spray on the plant. I never tried it. I recently learned that it would treat powdery mildew. And the other thing what you could do is you could mix 1% of baking soda, 1% of dish soap, and 1% of vinegar in water, and you can spray it on the plant, and that should treat this powdery mildew. This is a very easy to maintain plant, and this is a very prolific producer in the garden. And this year it almost produced 50 bottle gourds, I guess, and it's an amazing plant to have in the garden. So by end of September, this is how the bottle gourd bean looks like. It has all these dry leaves, but it still keeps producing a lot of bottle gourds. This is the harvest we have done in the end of September. Now let's look at the different recipes you can try with bottle gourds. One recipe is dosa. So for that you can take rice. I took brown rice here and I washed them and I soaked them overnight. And the next day morning I tried to take this soaked rice and I cut this bottle gourd and I took all this in a blender, and to the blender I added some ginger and also a few cumin seeds, a little bit of salt, You can add it as per your taste. I'm going to add a little bit of water and then I'm going to blend it into a smooth batter. You can keep it in this consistency. It doesn't have to be very thick or it doesn't have to be very thin. You can have it in this consistency. And you can just make yummy dosa out of it, and believe me, they would taste so yummy. If you would have tasted any dosa earlier, it wouldn't have any taste to it, but if you make this dosa and eat, it would have a very nice bottle gourd flavor to it, and it tastes amazing. So the next recipe we'll be talking about is bottle gourd mutia. It's one of a Gujarati dish and it tastes super yummy. So for that, first you can take any flour. I'm taking whole wheat flour here, 1 cup, and to that I'm gonna add 1 cup of suji. And then I'll be adding 1 cup of gram flour or besan, and to that I'll be adding grated bottle gourd. I used a hand grater, but if you have a food processor you can use that as well to grate the bottle gourds. And to this I am adding a little bit of turmeric powder. I'll add some cumin seeds. And this is the grated ginger I'll be adding. And this is the grated coriander leaf that I'll be adding to this. This is salt. And this is asafoetida or hing. I'll go ahead and add a little bit to this. I'm gonna add some oil to this one. You can use any oil. I usually use olive oil. And you can also add a little bit of baking soda. And then I'm gonna make like mutias in this shape. So you have to make mutias in this shape. So once you are done with making all those mutias, now you have to take a steam pan and you have to grease it with oil, and you can place these mutias on the pan. Here I am using a dokla pan, or you can use any steamer, like any steamer that you have, you can use it, and you can place these mutias on them. And I'm going to stack all these plates like this, and I would put this into the steamer and I'll let it cook. I have an instant pot, so I just went ahead and placed all of that inside it. So once the mutias are steamed, I'll remove it from the Instant Pot, and this is how I'm gonna cut them. I'll let it cool first. Once they are cooled, I'll go ahead and cut them into this round shapes. So this is how they look, and if you notice, they are very soft. And once I'm done with that, I'll take a pan and I'll go ahead and add some mustard seeds in it. I'll also add some oil. Once the mustard seed starts to crackle, I'll go ahead and add some cumin seeds to it, and I'll let it cook for some time. Once it's cooked, I'll go ahead and add some sesame seeds to this. Here I'm using white sesame seeds. And once it's done, I'll go ahead and add all the cooked mutia that we cut and put aside. I'll just go ahead and add them to the pan, and I'll give it a good stir. And I'll go ahead and sprinkle some fresh coriander leaves and then red chili powder on top of it. And this is how it looks. You can eat this with green chutney, which is coriander chutney, and it would taste amazing. So the next recipe we'll be seeing here is the bottle gourd kofta curry. This goes well with rice and chapati. And for this kofta, we need to take 1 cup of gram flour, and to that we will be adding a ginger garlic paste, grated bottle gourd, turmeric, coriander powder, cumin powder, garam masala, and chopped coriander leaves, and we'll mix it everything together well. And once everything is mixed, this is the consistency that you would see. And later we'll take an appam pan. You can deep fry it as well, but it takes a lot of oil. So I'll be taking an appam pan where I'll be adding less oil, and I'll be adding my kofta paste to these molds. And you have to turn them in between so that it evenly cooks on both the sides, and the kofta balls look good. They have that golden color once they are cooked. And once you are done cooking the koftas, then you have to take another pan, add some oil to it, and once the oil is heated, you can go ahead and add some onion and green chili to that. And once it is cooked, you can go ahead and add ginger garlic paste to it a little bit. Then you can go ahead and add some tomato to it and let it cook. And then this is how the kofta balls look like after they are done. You can eat them right away like that as well. Then I'll go ahead and take that onion and tomato puree and once it cools down, I'll go ahead and make a nice soft puree out of it, and then I'll go ahead and add it to the pan once again, and I'll let it cook, and then I'll add some kasuri methi to that, which is dried fenugreek leaves, and then I'll go ahead and add the koftas that we cooked earlier, and add some fresh cilantro to this, and I'll let it cook for some time. So the next recipe we'll be seeing here is the bottle gourd halwa. This is a sweet dish, and for that I'll be taking a pan and I'll be adding some ghee to it, and once it's heated, then I'll go ahead and add the grated bottle gourd to it, and I'll let it cook for some time. So we shouldn't be seeing any liquidy texture. We should let it cook for good amount of time. And once it's cooked, I'll go ahead and add some milk to it, and I'll let it cook for some time. And once it's cooked, I'll go ahead and add some sugar to it, and also chopped almonds to it. And after cooking for some time, this is the texture it looks, and the halwa is ready. We can serve it hot, or you can store it in the refrigerator and eat after a certain time, and it will taste yummy. These are few other recipes that I have tried. This is bottle gourd curry, and this is bottle gourd talpit or roti, and this is bottle gourd handwa. And after making all this also, I still keep getting a lot of bottle gourds. So we went ahead and chopped the bottle gourds, and also grated the bottle gourds and stored them in the refrigerator. So that way, once after the bottle gourd season is over, we can still keep eating the bottle gourds that we got from our plant. So that's the reason we went ahead, chopped them, and grated them and stored it in our refrigerator. So this is it, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching our video. If you did, please do like, share and subscribe to our channel, and please don't forget to leave your valuable comments and feedback in the section below. And if you have any additional questions, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below, and I'll definitely get back to you. And also, please turn on the notifications so you don't miss on any upcoming videos or updates from this channel. And happy gardening, and wish you all a happy and successful gardening, and see you all next week in next video. Bye.